Hi, this is Tom Stubbs again, and this is my fourth video for a buyer that's in the process of buying a home. So basically, if you're watching this video, we've redeemed the earnest money, we've got the mortgage started, we've got escrow set up, we've cleared the home inspection, we've had the appraisal, and that came back fine. So now we're getting close to closing. So basically, closing is when the property switches from the seller's name to your name as a buyer. So there's kind of a process that we follow with that. Typically, when we're about a week out from closing, what usually happens is the lender is going to send out what's called a closing disclosure. This is going to outline all the different terms of the mortgage that you're getting and the costs involved. It's very important that you respond and you sign that closing disclosure because they can't send out loan documents, or they can't have you sign loan documents until after you sign that closing disclosure. So I think it's something like 72 hours afterwards you can sign your loan documents. So first step, you'll get your closing disclosure, you'll review it, make sure all the numbers kind of match what you assume, you'll sign it, that goes back to the lender. And now the next step is kind of a three-stage process. I like to call it signing, closing, and possession, okay? So signing is the appointment that you make to actually go to the escrow company and sign all the documents, okay? You're just signing the documents. The seller does the same thing. They go in, they sign all the documents. You usually make arrangements for the rest of your deposit towards the house, whether or not you're gonna wire that money, bring in a check, something like that. So that'll happen basically on the signing date, which will usually be 1 or 2 days before the closing date. So you'll sign all the papers, bring in the money that's required, and then that information goes back to the lender to review, and the escrow company reviews it to make sure everything is in order. If everything's in order, then we'll be clear to close, and then the escrow company will close the transaction on our closing date. So for instance, if you sign on a Wednesday or Thursday, then we can maybe close on a Friday. If we have a closing on a Monday, you're probably gonna be signing on a Thursday or Friday. Just think about a couple days ahead of time. Now, what possession is when you have a right to move into the property. So if the home is vacant, possession is usually pretty easy. It's 5 p.m. on the closing date. So if you signed on, let's say you signed on Wednesday, we closed on Friday, then you would get the keys on Friday at 5 p.m. And I will usually make arrangements with that and meet you at the house, get access to you so you can start moving in. Very important as well, thinking about this, a few days before you're gonna get possession, you wanna go ahead and call the utility companies to get everything switched over into your name. But sometimes the seller will stay in possession a little bit longer after closing. So let's say if we closed on a Friday, but you're not gonna get possession until the following Wednesday, that happens a lot because the seller needs to move out after they have their funds. We'll just make arrangements for the transfer of keys at that point. So anyway, that's kind of a little bit of a summary of the signing, closing, possession, closing disclosure. So hopefully that makes some sense. If you have any questions about this process, about signing, closing, possession, closing disclosure, any of that sort of stuff, don't hesitate to call. Once again, this is Tom Stubbs. Have a great day. Bye.